This is what the Philadelphia Eagles need to do in the 2023 NFL Draft. Ryan Wilson, Rick Spielman from With the First Pick podcast here to provide an ultimate mock draft for the team with picks 10 and 30 in the first round. Let's jump into the NFL Mock Draft Database Simulator. All right, Rick, here we go. We're Howie Roseman. You can see there Lucas Van Ness just went 9 to the Chiefs. Devin Witherspoon, the pick before that, to the Falcons, and Paris Johnson to the Raiders at pick 7. So here we are, pick 10. We're the Eagles. Anthony Richardson, we're not interested in that. Are you at all? Can I intrigue you in Bijan Robinson?
How about Will Levis?
Yeah, how about Will Levis? Can you imagine that?
Debo may hang himself. He would jump out of his seat if they took Will Levis.
Yeah, that would be something else there. But we've seen conversations about Bijan potentially going this high, especially to this team. Is that too rich for you, or do you want to address other needs?
I think he is too unique of a player, and they run the ball. And I'd lean towards going with Bijan.
Okay, well, quickly, before you make that pick, Debo, let's take a look at the edge rushers just to make sure we're not missing out on anything. Miles Murphy, Nolan Smith, Will McDonald are still there. So I think that's a little too rich. Rick's shaking his head side to side. So let's go with Bijan there, Debo. Keep it simple.
And are you okay with this?
I love it.
Debo?
Oh, yeah, Debo, are you okay with it?
I'm not going to pretend like I'd be upset over Bijan Robinson. I'd maybe wait for Gibbs at 30, this pick we're about to make.
Ooh. All right, here we are at 30. Brian Branch is there.
Yeah.
And Chauncey Gardner-Johnson's gone. They signed Terrell Edmonds from the Steelers. I think it's on a 1-year deal, so he's not the long-term answer, at least not yet. They also have Richie Grant. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at this. Like, wait a second. That's not right. I was looking at the wrong team. Looking at the Eagles here. So what do you think about Brian Branch here, Rick?
I'd be all over Brian Branch right now.
So my guy Reed Blankenship, now that I'm on the right roster, who played well in spots for injuries last year, he's an option, but there isn't a ton of depth there. Kayvon Wallace is there. He's not. I don't think he's ready to be a starter as he enters year 3. I think year 4. All right, Brian Branch feels like the right pick for me as well. You're going to pass on Anton Harrison, I see there, which our buddy Emery Hunt did not do in his mock draft.
Is it too high for Mozzie Smith?
I think it is, Rick, because of the lack of consistency in this game. Even though athletically, I think he checks the boxes.
That's a need, but also the safety is a need too.
All right, let's look at defensive line real quick before we make the pick, just to double check, Debo. Mozzie, Tuipulopu's there, Keanu Benton. Those guys feel like day 2 guys, Rick. Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
All right, so I think we've answered the question. Brian Branch, Nick out of Alabama. 30. Now we're on to pick 62.
How's Debo, Jeffrey Lurie feeling about this pick right now? The first 2 picks, Debo.
I'm elated. We're on our way to a title.
Okay.
Or at least to the Super Bowl. You might not win.
Biggest bandwagon Philly fan I've ever met in my life.
Man, that's saying something because there are a lot of them. All right, we're in round 2 here. Pick 62. You mentioned a need at interior defensive line here. And Derek Hall sitting there as an edge rusher as well. Scroll down a little bit deeper. Let's see what we got going on here. Ika's there at pick 62. I don't know if that's a little too early for you, Rick, if you want to wait on that. But he is certainly he feels a need, and he feels it in 340-pound way. Hit the edge button, Debo. Let's see what we're working with there because we don't want to run out of these guys. Derek Hall, Andre Carter. I would not take him this early, nor would I take Zach Harrison this early, nor Byron Young. So it's either Derek Hall, and we going to roll the dice on some edge rushers, or we can go Siaki Ika here, or hit the defensive line button, Debo. Let's see what else is there. So Zach Pickens is there. Carl Brooks is there. Man, Keanu Benton, we lost out on him. Yeah, and hit the big board. Trenton Simpson, I don't know. I mean, they have Nakobe Dean, who didn't play much last year. He's going to get a chance at some run here. Hassan Reddick is.
Yeah, but they lost 2 linebackers, right? They lost Kazir White, and they lost Edwards.
Yep, no, that's right. So they have Nakobe Dean and Sean Bradley behind him, and Nick Morrow's the weak side, along with Christian Ellis, who's, I don't know if he came from San Francisco, it looks like. So hit the linebacker button, Debo. Let's see what we got there. Simpson, Deion Henley's there. I think I would take Henley over Trenton Simpson at this point. Nick Herbig is another guy who's provides some versatility in that he was an edge rusher in college, probably moves inside because he weighs about 240. Your guy, Henry To'oTo'o at Alabama. Any of those names intrigue you, Rick?
Simpson's the most intriguing to me.
Really?
Between him and Henley.
Okay, let's go Trenton Simpson if you want to go with a great athlete who would probably benefit playing alongside someone like Nakobe Dean. So maybe that helps. Is that a consideration, by the way, when you have a player that's as smart as Nakobe Dean to get everyone lined up who maybe don't have quite the developed football instincts that you want, even though they're incredibly athletic?
Yeah, as long as they checked all the boxes through the pre-draft process with the learns and the intelligence scores and everything like that. You just have to know he does have some holes, but he's a unique athlete that
Right.
would fit the scheme. And Kaiser White ended up being a really good player for him that they lost. That's athletic, and I think Simpson may be able to fill out a role like that.
Perfect. No, and by all accounts, a great young man. Rick comes from a military family and very serious about football. Pick 94. Now we're into round 3. One round 3 pick here. Still have needs at defensive tackle and an edge rusher. So what do we got here? Tucker Kraft is the
Let's see the D line. What's left at the D line? Go to the D line. See if I can get a nose tackle here.
I like Zach Pickens.
Pickens.
Your guy Byron Young's also still there.
Like him as well. He's a little bit of a poor man's Graham.
Oh, there you go. All right. Poor man's Brandon Graham. Do you want Byron or Zach? I think I like Zach a little better. I mean, I'm sorry. I like Byron Young a little better.
Why don't you make a pick? I'm tired of making picks and making these all good.
Okay.
You can screw one up.
I'll take the Alabama young man, Byron Young, who I know Rick likes, so he won't yell about that one. He's a good player. I think he's better than Phil Mathis. I thought Phil Mathis was a really good player coming out, who I think ended up going in the second round last year. All right, now we're down to round 4. No picks in rounds 4, 5, or 6. We have 2 picks in round 7, 219 and 248. So we have the defensive line, head linebacker, safety, and running back. We don't have edge rusher, and we don't have whatever. Well, I guess we'll do best player available at this point as well. Because
go back to the D line, Debo. If you can hit that D line button and see what kind of deep.
Oh, my guy Jared Clark, 340 pounds of muscle.
How about him versus Broderick Martin?
Well, I think we both like Broderick Martin. He's a little more twitched up. If you can be twitched up as a heavy guy in the middle, a little more athletic, I think, moves a little better laterally. Just not quite as big, but he's not small. The thing is, Jared Clark's 340 pounds. I think Broderick came in at 310, 315. I'll double check, but he was big enough. What do you think?
I would lean a little bit towards Martin.
All right, Broderick Martin out of Western Kentucky. Are they the Hilltoppers? Is that right?
Oh, we got a D+.
They just don't know Broderick Martin. All right, one last pick near the bottom of round 7, and best player available again. Jay Ward, I love him as an undersized safety. He can play a little slot. O'Shawn Mathis is an edge rusher out of Nebraska who has a little juice. Scroll down a little bit, Debo. Let's see what we got here. Ronnie Bell, Trey Dean, Jared Clark still there. I don't think we want to double up there. Miles Brooks is an intriguing cornerback. I like him a lot. I think he goes higher than this in real life out of Louisiana Tech. Anything?
No, nothing's exciting me here. The closest one that excited me a little bit is I think Mathis has some tools to work with.
All right. Do you want to get an edge rusher?
Let's take an edge rusher. Take a shot at the edge rusher.
All right.
And I like Jay Ward, but we got Branch. So I would take the pass rusher.
All right. That's it. They only had 6 picks, the Philadelphia Eagles, in our ultimate mock draft here. We had them picking Bijan Robinson at 10, their second first-round pick, Brian Branch out of Alabama. Nick, and can also play a little deep safety. Trenton Simpson, the freakishly athletic linebacker out of Clemson, followed by Byron Young out of Alabama. Broderick Martin, the defensive tackle out of Western Kentucky. And then finally, we took O'Shawn Mathis, edge rusher out of Nebraska. That is a wrap on the perfect Eagles draft class. Make sure to subscribe to NFL on CBS on YouTube and download the With the First Pick podcast. Stay tuned for more Ultimate Mock Drafts.